Alrighty, guys. So, bit of a big day. Reason why I'm saying so is we had a little bit of news yesterday, or fake news, or glitch that happened within Warren Buffett and their company and things like that. And what we ended up seeing was a little bit of a reaction from the market, right? We ended up seeing a little bit of a red candle. Market reacted pretty good after the nice little bounce within the stock market, nice bounce within crypto. But I do want to bring you guys to the attention of maybe we are losing a little bit of a trend with the stock market. Now, the actual crypto market's still holding good. But I do want to bring this to your attention here that yesterday, when we had this little drop off, you can see I have a 12-hour chart on the futures chart here on the stock market. And we were basically sitting on this trend over here. So stock market was trending nicely, holding pretty strong. And when that fake news or glitch happened, we ended up dropping over here, right? We ended up having a push down. And then what we had was, it was a glitch, things like that. So the market reacted pretty good. However, guys, what we did do was we lost a temporary midterm trend on the stock market. And you can see this over here where we lost this trend. And the question is now, there's a bunch of news happening with banks at the moment. There's a lot happening. Is the stock market going to actually have a little bit of a bigger pullback? Are we looking at maybe going down to these areas over here, which you're probably looking in the sense of a possible maybe 5% down within the stock market? Now, it's not about being afraid, guys. It's about being prepared that maybe there is a bit more on the stock market to come to the downside. What does that mean for crypto? And how are we going to make sure we take advantage of it if it does so? Maybe crypto goes in the reverse. So the goal today is to bring your awareness that we are seeing a little bit of weakness within the stock market. And now let's sit and strategize that, okay, maybe there is a little bit more of a dip off. What are we going to do? What looks good in these areas, or the opposite happens? Now, I also want to say, guys, if something good comes out in the next couple of days within the stock market and we get back above that level, this could be a catalyst. And the reason why I'm saying that is, remember when the fake FUD came of the ETF, that fake tweet came out, we had immediate effect for 2-3 days. After that, boom, rockets to the upside. So this could be the spark as well. You always need fear, you always need FUD, you always need something to coil up the markets to get a massive explosion. I just want to make sure you are prepared if there is a little trap that's coming into play. So guys, happy Tuesday to you all. I am here. I'm not bearish. However, I am going to bring you cautious when I'm seeing it and what we're going to do if something different or something shifts. So guys, if you like that, no more wasting time, smash that like button and let's go. All right, guys, how are we doing? Pop in the chat. Are we bullish or are we bearish? I see some people saying 64,000 Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts. Thomas says, what are we going to do? I don't think it's a massive correction, okay? I do think it can have some short-term effect within the market, though. Again, it will probably create incredible opportunities, but we need to be aware of that, especially those who have some short-term trades open or are super leveraged in the market or things like that. I want to bring this to your attention so that you can be ahead of the game, not get trapped, and not get sunken out before the rockets are going to happen. I still think we're at the time where we're going to go parabolic very soon. Okay, we're looking for a catalyst. We're looking for something to spark up the markets. And you got two things in that where that happens. Either extremely bullish news that comes out or bearish news that turns to be fake or FUD or something that ends up rocketing the market really quickly. However, does have a little quick short-term effect to the downside. So we are waiting. Bitcoin is crawling to that all-time high. Week by week by week, we are sitting. There's a catalyst that needs to come into play in order to do so. And that's what we are paying attention to. I'm ready for a fabulous banana zone. Exactly. What 𝗲𝗚𝗚 is saying is true. Banana zone. We are going to go into that super euphoric. However, we always know that the previous time, last two bull cycles, okay, when we had that, there was always a little trap that happened before. So this is what's going to separate, those who get shaken out versus those who stay strong within the game. But nonetheless, guys, we've got to get exciting for the next leg to the upside. Let's get through this little patch first and just be prepared. I don't think it's changed anything yet or anything fundamentally. Bitcoin's still holding major levels. Bitcoin's still extremely bullish. So is Ethereum. So is altcoins. So is the Bitcoin dominance. Everything's still good. We do just have to have in mind within the stock market. If you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, guys. I'm excited. I'm fully deployed. Not much to do, but swap. Cool. That's cool. Completely at all. Just make sure if you've got any short-term leverage trades or any short-term trades, just keep a nice little tight. Just keep track of that risk management. Why? Because if there is an immediate dip off, I think it's going to be a great one to get those trades there, right? To get those entries over there if it happens. And we just got to pay attention to that. So Sheldon, what's the plan? I'll tell you the plan. I'll tell you how my brain thinks this morning, and I'm just making sure. So the only thing, again, that scared me is just stock markets. I do think we're in a different market than we were last year, where we saw the stock market, anytime it sneezed, we saw crypto react pretty strong. I think crypto has its own sort of strength this time. I think it is sitting a lot stronger when it comes to the stock markets. I don't think it'll be as affected. However, I do think it bounces a lot harder. So I think the moment we get a stock market bounce, I think crypto is going to bounce hard. Okay, so I think it will sneeze slightly if the stock market decides to pull back, as in everything will around the world, right? Anything linked to the stock market will pull back. However, it's about what's going to be strong and what's going to return really quickly to the upside. Now, saying that as well, guys, we saw a couple of strength within altcoins yesterday. We saw Casper start to wake up. We saw Solana on the verge of a breakout. There's a lot of good bullish news or bullishness happening within the alts at the moment. So let's get through all of it. So I want to remind you guys again, I think this is a day or two of FUD at the moment. We will see if stock market starts losing those lows. I'll bring up the charts in a sec. Then we can decide if this is a week or two pullback. Right now, I think it's short-term sort of views. So for me, I'm actually looking at some opportunities for the day to get some good entries within the markets. And I'll remind you guys quickly. Okay, wait, I'll come to that in a sec. Let's jump straight into the actual chart. So this is the slight concern over here with the stock markets. Before I jump into the Bitcoin chart, the only big thing for me is I always track when something's going sideways, right? I always want to make sure that when something's going sideways, it's getting prepared to make the right move, because I know sideways is what creates strength, what creates the next big move. Therefore, if you look at all the sidewaysness from the stock market over here, created that massive pump to the upside, right? This sidewaysness is what creates the sustainability. So now what you can see is the stock market's in quite of a big range at the moment. You can see we're basically ranging, and this is the futures, by the way, 37,000 all the way to areas of 39,000. So you can see it's got quite a big range at the moment. I just want to make sure, however, that we don't do the big retracement. What's going on? We've got banks like this, how many? 60, 70 banks in trouble at the moment, okay, which means two things. It either means there will be some fear, right? There will be a lot of uncertainty. There will be a lot of people that are scared to deploy capital within the markets and things like that. However, they may turn the money machines on. They might turn the printing machines on. Every time there's danger, the savior comes with a bag of money and throws it onto the damn market. That obviously will be bullish. Okay, remember that time when it came to the COVID time, where they, did the quantitative easing. When the quantitative easing came into play and they started printing the money, markets went absolutely crazy. So this is what I'm saying. I still think this is going to have good bullish effects within the markets, but we do got to obviously pay attention to the immediate effects. And obviously, my next concern, I should jump back to this chart over here. My next concern that I have is how big is this pullback? Okay, because I have a few little plays here. So let's jump in over here and let's go through over here quickly and to my stock market. There we go. So I got two bounce areas if the stock market starts getting pretty bearish. Okay, I got the first one, which is in the zone, which is basically the range low, somewhere we've been before. Okay, and we keep bouncing there. And that means, okay, a little bit of FUD now, temporary pullback within the markets. Crypto, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4% to the downside, not too much. No big concerns. And then the push up, okay? And that's around a 3% drop within the stock markets. And looking at this over here, that would be more or less my bounce zone, okay? And that's if we lose these lows. You can see there's still a couple of warning signs. The 12-hour RSI is sitting at the top. Let's look at a couple of other RSIs. We've got the daily hovering around at the bottom here, which you can do for a little while. Let's see any shorter time frame. 8 hours at the top, 4 hours at the top. So again, this is looking at the next 2, 3, 4 days at the moment. Obviously, the big one is we don't want to see the daily popping down. But the big concern for me is the weekly, right? We look at the weekly's still on its way down. And on the high time frame, when you just look at normal charts here, you can see that, is this a bigger correction when we push through? So as it stands at the moment, I'm only looking at around a 3%. There is a scenario if something goes wrong, maybe there's more news or there's a big event that starts happening, that there might be a 5 to 6% pullback within the stocks. Now, guys, I don't think this is going to crash crypto. I really don't. I don't think it's going to take us down to 50, 40K. However, it might just slow down the slight progress we've had over the last couple of days. And the markets might react a little bit or might trend sideways for a little while longer. Like I say, I think we'll have immediate effect if stock markets go down to a sense, like short-term effect within the market. I think crypto will go down slightly. However, we get a slight bounce in the stock market. I think the crypto market's going to explode. So let's quickly speak bullish before now we've got the bearish views, and I'll go through the Bitcoin charts now on the bearish and the bullish. But let's quickly speak about bullish news. Bullish news is we set in a higher low today. Okay, so the market's open today, things are looking strong, and this bangs up through this red zone. then I think markets are going to rocket. Okay, I think if we go and we absorb this, there will be a massive squeeze. Stock market will be well on its way again to the upside, and the markets will push. Okay, so again, I think this is going to be a catalyst. The question is there 3-4 days of blood before the catalyst, before the rockets to the upside? Okay, that's the big thing. So if we decide from today to start pushing up again and we break this high over here, then it was literally a FUD, scared out the markets, and we rocket from that. These FUD events is what makes us actually rocket from these sort of points and actually finally give us the fuel that we need to get through important levels. And again, that would be something in that point there. Now, why it's still bullish for me and why I think, it's only a 2-3 day sort of pullback is also the Dixie, guys. So Dixie, I haven't charted for a while. Okay, but it is important now when I'm looking back at the stock markets to compare it to the Dixie as well. Dixie is looking actually very bullish for the markets, looking bearish on the charts, which is bullish for us, right? Dixie going down is good for the markets. That's when we see, a really strong market, people getting out of the dollar and into stock markets, crypto, everything, etc. Okay, this actually lost a very big wedge, guys. Very, very big wedge. Okay, so this was a nice upward rising wedge that we are seeing over here and a nice big range, and it lost that trend. Okay, which for me actually indicates we should be having a bullish, stock market or, bullish markets in general. That's usually what happens when the Dixie is going to the downside, is the markets react pretty bullish. The only thing is we saw that because of yesterday sort of push, we lost the trend and maybe there is a short-term retest. So guys, remember what I'm saying here, super important, is I think the catalyst is coming in the next 2-3 days. Okay, however, there might be 2-3 day turbulence. Okay, we're still going to get to the destination. We're still going to do incredibly well. However, I do think that there is that push, and the Dixie is saying maybe the same thing, that it needs to go up, test that trend, and then a massive leg to the downside. What will this do? It will confuse the whole damn market. Everyone that was bullish yesterday are now questioning all their thoughts. Everyone that bought yesterday are now questioning what they're doing. It plays the games and the minds within the market and confuses everyone. We just got to sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to be patient another day or two. I got a little bit of cash to buy maybe some good levels if I got cash. And any important cash, I got to maybe just pop 1 or 2 stops so that the market does react pretty strong. I can get stopped and I can buy back cheaper. It's sort of looking at it in a way more calm manner. Can we smash the like button right now if you're going to be calm? Okay, can we now go forward in this crypto market if there's FUD or whatever it is and do it calm, sit there and say, okay, that's happened, let's do this. That's happened. Like, you need to chill, guys. You need to chill and you need to look after your money in a non-emotional way. Therefore, you're going to make smarter decisions and you're not going to react of what your gut's telling you or your best friend's telling you, what the news is telling you, all of these sort of things. And that's why I've always loved charts. Okay, so smash the like for the calmness. Super important. Okay, so back here. So if we look at this now, there is 2 little zones with the Dixie. So I just want to show you guys this over here. We got the higher zone, which is this area, these highs up here, meaning that maybe there is a 2-3 day to the upside, maybe the news on the banks, maybe everything takes a little bit of effect within the markets, and then a massive leg to the downside, and a big one, guys. Look at that, a leg which we haven't seen for a while. So I think even the stock market's going to be bullish with the next couple of days. I think something's going to happen. I think the stock market's going to start to rally really strong. Okay, and again, as long as we stay below this level, they will chat. And this is for the stock market, not crypto so much. We will see how crypto reacts. Then there's also a short-term play here. So I just want to pop this in quickly. Put this in is these lows that we lost yesterday. These lows here. Okay, the pullback might be smaller. We might start it today to the downside over here. And again, this should be bullish within the markets. So again, I'm putting in the concerns or putting in the slight caution for you to be prepared. But now let's jump into crypto and let's plan it. Let's see what we're going to do if the 2 plays play out and what we're looking at. So now think about it, guys. Yesterday we were rocketing. We're looking good, right? We had a really strong breakout. We're still sitting on the breakout line at the moment. So we're not showing any major signs just yet or anything like that. However, it slowed down our momentum a little bit, right? We got to the party. We ordered all the tequilas. And then some person came and threw up all over the floor next to us. And now we got the smell in the room, right? So we're trying to continue to drink, but the smell's still there. But nonetheless, it's just slowed it down slightly. So for me, guys, now it's the sense of, okay, is there going to be maybe a different pattern that's going to form within Bitcoin? Okay. Or are we going to have that slight pullback? So let's speak about it. Let's go through a couple of plays over here. So what we are seeing at the moment is there is the main danger line for Bitcoin. Okay. So it's still saying that $67,000. We can remain above $67,000 and we're still good, guys. If the stock market decides to pull back or the markets decide to be red for 2-3 days and Bitcoin holds 67, the bounce is going to be epic. Okay, because end of the day, that was the previous pump. This is a small correction, meaning we're still in a very bullish pattern, and therefore the response will be incredibly strong to the upside. Okay, so 67 is the important zone to make any major decisions or to make any big sort of zones, and probably good zones to top up slight on some of your portfolios, and obviously, understanding the bearish side. Now, let's speak about the bearish side. So the first scenario, as I said, we go here, a little bit of reaction from that, and the market rips. Okay, again, whatever happens here, I think is going to be the catalyst to finally get through here. We are struggling to get through 73. We can see every time we are getting there, we are struggling. And to be honest, we don't want to sit here for another 2-3 weeks, because then it actually starts turning bearish later on, because it might be an offload zone. Might be a zone where, big wallets or big amounts are actually slowly laddering out of the market because they are preparing for a bigger pullback later on. Okay, I don't think we're anywhere near there yet, but however, we do need to start getting going. The problem is Bitcoin's struggling to get past 73. Okay, it's struggling. So we need a catalyst. We need something to piss the market off and then make them happy, or to trap them, or to do whatever the hell it is. Okay, and that will get us through. And once we are through, natural momentum will come into play. Because think about it, people are scared to buy at 72,000 or 68,000 now, but they will buy at 80. And that's the weird thing about the psychology of the markets. They won't buy now, but they buy at 80, they buy at 100. Okay, so once you get through these levels, you don't have to worry about any news directing the market anymore, because you got people talking about it everywhere, and people want to buy more expensive stuff. That's how it works. If it's pumped 50%, they want to buy it. And then that's just how the flow. So the question here is, what are the catalysts to get us up there? And I think this is it. I think there's going to be maybe some short-term FUD or short-term problems, but that results into a really strong push. Okay. So that's that play there. The bearish scenario is we do start in the next day or two losing the 67. And therefore, for me, we do go to the areas of 64, 65, and maybe even a 63. Why I think we will also react incredibly strong is because we actually also might be in a sideways range. We might actually be in a very big flag over here. And it looks like this is the area of where, the accumulation is happening. There was a little trap in the middle, but this is where there's buying power. Okay, so the problem now is price will always move to buying power. Okay, super important to understand that. So if there isn't any buying power right here, and there isn't if we go to 67, it's gonna go down to the liquidity where there is buying power. Okay, and for me, those are the zones again of that 64. And if it goes even lower down to the range, which is the 63, 62 sort of zone, that's where I'm seeing the liquidity. That's where I'm seeing the reaction. And same thing, I'll be seeing the markets going straight to the top from there again. So we've got to be slightly prepared. So this flag will indicate that for you. Okay, you want to see a 8-hour, 12-hour closes below, outside of either trend. You could see on the 12-hour, we didn't close yesterday outside of that trend. The news came just in time, and it closed us in. So the closing will give us that good, strong confirmation of those plays. So I'm not super bearish. I'm not thinking we go down to 50 or 40K. There might be a push to 64, but this only until this chart is broken can I be bullish. Bearish, sorry. Until that time, I'm bullish. Okay. Now let's also speak about straight bull today. Let's say in the next couple of hours, we've got some good news. Things are strong. That again would be Bitcoin breaking 71. 71 at any moment. Remember, guys, all we have to do is get through 73,000. After that, the natural momentum of the market will take this thing to the moon. That's it. It's about what's going to get us through the major important level of those areas over there. Okay. In the same time, what you are seeing is you're seeing a dominance halt, which is good. You're not seeing a dominance spike too hard. Okay. And it's basically hugging this trend line over here. So again, what it's indicating here is I do think if there's a bit more redness in Bitcoin, I think the dominance will go up a little bit more. I do. So it means that if Bitcoin pulls back 5%, expect you also pull back 8 to 10. Okay. Some of them in that sort of sense. But whenever the bounce comes, however, I do see dominance going down. I still think that this might really be the trend breakout, the one we've been waiting, 2 years for. I still think it's the major one. And I still think that whenever there's strength within the market, the altcoins really rocket strong when Bitcoin, bounces incredibly hard. So that's why, again, it's just that little birdie in your ear saying, hey, The altcoins are actually the strong ones right now. We might be thinking Bitcoin's strong. Bitcoin's strong when the markets obviously go through a little bit of heat and go through a bit of red. But nonetheless, when it comes to the green side of things, and we do know that the weekly stock is at the bottom when it comes to the Bitcoin play, the alts are definitely gaining strength very quickly behind the scenes. And if you look at it today, Bitcoin's down, but you're seeing a couple of altcoins still up. You're seeing Casper up today, you're seeing Illuvium up today, you're seeing Phantom up today, you're seeing COTI up today. You're seeing a little bit of popcorn effect. You're seeing things like _𝗕𝗓𝗕𝗓𝗕𝗓, that's showing strength. These are all alts that wouldn't be, if the dominance was in a terrible place or going up strong, you would actually have everything red today, where you're actually getting some nice greenness within the markets. So the dominance is also important to see. Let's play the other side as well. The other side is the market tanks hard today, but dominance decides to go down. Okay, which means that Bitcoin will pull back bigger than the altcoins. Okay, not too much bigger, but basically equivalent to the same. Okay, if the markets decide to tank, which means alts again are gaining strength, and the quicker we can get away from this trend line is the quicker that we can confirm alt season and really start preparing for dominance to come down to this 48 to 49%. And I want to remind you again, when it comes to the dominance, we haven't seen this in a while, guys. We haven't seen this at the point of, since the last cycle. We've had a decent leg when it comes to the pullback over here. I just want to quickly, my team over here, can we quickly, Matt, everyone that's over here, can you quickly load those images for me that you loaded about the pie charts? I want to teach you guys something today. Okay, I got some alpha coming for you today, and I'm going to teach you another strategy quickly when it comes to your portfolio, just so that I can get this in your brain before the markets wake up again or make any big decisions, that you have a little bit of an understanding of what to do with your portfolio and when to do it and how to do it and all of these things. Super important. So stay tuned. That's going to come in a few minutes. Matt, if you guys can, just think, if you go below here on the side here, bro, you can load it as a picture. You can load it as a picture over here, and you can just pop that in for me. I just want to see that over there. Okay, before I do get into that, guys, I want to remind you again. So I just want to have a look here. Let's see how my BitGet trade is doing from yesterday. I have to close it soon. It logged me out. Okay, I'll have a look now. I have to close. I think it's in 30%. I have to close it soon because we have the BitGet competition starting, guys. So join the team. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm giving $1,000 away to anyone that is using my BitGet link below in the description. You have to open up the account with the BitGet link, and you are in Sniper Army. I'm going to give $1,000. I'm going to give $100 to 10 people. I'll give 5 tomorrow, and I'll give 5 the day after. There's a tournament starting here, but let me make something clear here. This is a tournament. This is not life-changing money, guys. This is put some money into a competition and rate yourself against yourself. Put yourself a target. Put yourself a time frame target. And I was saying this to a friend earlier. I said that I never had the choice a few days back when I wanted to trade for this holiday, right? Because I extended my holiday in Portugal because I got my daughter and my wife here, and I wanted to have a holiday after. However, I didn't want to spend too much money in order to do that. So I had to set some trades, right? I had to do it. And what it did is it put me under a time frame that I had to make a certain amount of money in 3 days. And I actually achieved 80% of it. And what it taught me was sometimes in life, what you're trying to learn with trading as well is when there is a target and a time frame, how do you act then? It doesn't matter what the market's doing. If it's red down, it teaches you the sense of, I still got to achieve that target. So I think the competition is going to be a great way for you to rate yourself and to put yourself in a strong community to set yourself a target and understand the true value when it comes to trading. So go below in the description and let's be the best team out there. Let's be the best team out there. Again, do not use important money. Please, it's not there for important money. It's not there to make crazy amounts of money. It's actually there to keep you warm within the skill. So here's the team over here, Sniper Army. Go below, join the team. The tournament starts in 6 hours. 6 hours, or I think it's 6 to 12 hours. The tournament is starting, and again, I'll be trading this tournament with you guys. Okay, let's jump back straight into the charts and let's get going again. Let me know when you're ready there, Matt, when it's loaded up. Okay, so that's the Bitcoin chart. Things like ETH, let's have a look at ETH. ETH has got a flag as well. So there's the ETH flag. I just want to confirm. There we go. There's the ETH flag in play. So also an indication. Also an indication of where we could be going. So if we look at this over here, the flag indicates that if we start losing this $3,700 zone, we might come fill this wick, which is this 3.5. Okay, if the market obviously goes slightly lower than that, there is that 3.3, but that's pretty big. I don't know if we're going to have that big of a pullback within the market. However, just keep in mind that there was a wick that happened a few days back on ETH. We might fill it. In this time, you got to remember that ETH is refueling to the Bitcoin pairing. So if you look at the Bitcoin pairing, ETH is making a flag. It broke out of the very important trend. It is now making a flag. And at some point, I'm looking at this exit the station and start to rip really strong. Okay, so again, it's any big opportunities. I think ETH is still slightly expensive at these levels. At 3.5, 3.2, I think it really becomes reasonable for you to add Ethereum to your portfolio. Things like Sol showing strength, okay, just a little bit uncertain because of the market. But nonetheless, definitely one of the stronger tokens when the market goes green. So keep eyes on that. We are hugging this trend here. I tweeted this yesterday saying, hey, we're close to a breakout here. Keep an eye. Keep an eye over here, because the moment that we start breaking these levels truly and we get above that 170, I think we're going to start to see a really strong push within Solana. Okay. And again, all entries that I'm focusing on now, what I'm building for is good targets, guys. I'm looking at the third leg of the cycle, at the second leg, sorry, the second main leg, it's called the impulse wave to the upside, right? I'm looking at around a $240 Solana on the next pushes. So anything that I'm fighting for here gives me an idea of how big the move is to the upside. Things like Phantom, really well. Phantom's holding great, looking incredibly strong, and it's going to be a rocket. Okay, again, I have short-term targets, but I'm actually looking at a $2. I'm looking at a $2 to $3 Phantom. And these are entries that I'm currently fighting for when it comes to the spot and the longer-term type of views when it comes to my portfolio. Again, nonetheless, if I am buying something as an investment and it's a little bit higher than where it was a couple of months ago, I will pop a stop loss. Important, because I want to cash back cheaper if I do get stopped out. Remember, if you're putting a stop loss on your spot wallet, you're not there for immediate gains. You're there to get the best entry. That's ultimately, and the most tokens you can. So for example, if you had 1,000 Phantom here, and let's say it goes down, it stops you out, you don't care about the $10 that you lost. You care about, oh, it went down. Oh, okay, I bought 1,200 Phantom now. Because in that time of collapse, you actually accumulated 20% more Phantom. And what that does for you later on is by the time it gets back and starts recovering, that 20% more Phantom, is going to make you 20% more money, especially as it gets compounded up and the price of the token goes up too. So if there's ever any bearishness or any lateness with buying tokens, you are putting a strategic stop in because you want to get back more tokens. You're not carried. Remember, when the red comes, you're not worried about value. You're worried about quantity. How much tokens do I have? How much more can I get? What can I do? All of these sort of things. When the market's going up, now you focus about how much money I got and what car am I going to buy and who am I going to help and all of these sort of things. It's just a separative mindset. But Phantom's still looking good and it looks like it's going to hold. If it holds these blocks here again, I think it's going to be one of the rockets. One that's looking a little bit weak today is AVAX. We had a little breakout yesterday. I said pop a stop in. I think it's a good stop. So it hasn't stopped out yet, but it's around this 34 mark. If we do get stopped, I think you're going to pick it up earlier, guys. It looks like it's not reacting too good in these areas here at the moment, AVAX. And I think you're going to catch it around these lows here, which is where the previous bounces have been happening. So to give you an idea that, hey, this could be around the early $30 for AVAX, which I do think is an investment entry. I think it's getting to a nice strong point over there. A couple of the trades I gave yesterday, Illuvium's reacted well. Looking really good. So again, I still think Illuvium is going to be one of the top performers. COTI reacted well too. So very strong. I think we called around 8 trades yesterday, and I think 1's in the red. So really good percentage that we're looking at the moment when it comes to these areas here. So there's COTI. Some also showing a bit of weakness. THETA is just hovering, not too much blood at the moment. You can see the market's quite uncertain, guys. MATIC hovering at the moment. Let's look at the other couple big movers. I spoke about Casper yesterday. I said Casper's a rocket. And I said, guys, the moment Casper gets through the 618, we're going to 1.618. So guys, we got it. How long did we work for you? We worked so hard for the Casper positions, right? But we got it, guys. We got it. You should already be up at least 30, 35%. And your targets, especially through the highs now, is at 24 cents. So, it should be around 100% from our entries. So on its way, Casper. And it just shows us the formula that we're using is right. Where you have a big pump and you go sideways, big pump, sideways, big pump, sideways. It's the same thing. You see how sideways creates results. You see how sideways drops the RSIs. You see how the same formula plays into play. Use this as a template. This is what you want to see. This is how you want to do it. And that's why it's so important to not buy when this is happening. When's the best time? And I'll take you back over again. When's the best time to buy Casper? In the sideways phases and on the major break of trends. There's the major break of trend. There's the major break of trend. That's when you buy Casper. In these sort of formats, you do not buy it when it's pumping because it pumps for a bit and then it comes down for a while. Okay, so super important to understand it. Another coin that's looking strong is 𝗕𝗓𝗕𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. I think 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 is going to have a strong push up the moment the market bounces. It was showing a lot of short-term strength yesterday, looking incredibly good. So keep an eye on 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 because I do think it will be a great token. Guys, anyone that's in leverage trades, just look after them for now. It's okay to take a 12-hour break or something like that. Just maybe pop in a stop. Just be aware of that. The market's a little bit tricky at the moment. So you got to pay attention. Okay. I want to show you guys quickly. Smash the like button. I want to see the likes and comments below as well. I want to show you guys this quickly because it's important. So if you look at a few things here, I'm teaching you strategies about your portfolio, right? And I want you to just to have a good understanding. So I've always taught you the things of understanding that your portfolio is basically split up. It's split up into a bunch of different tokens, different narratives, things like that. So, for example, you got your low risk sort of portfolio. Your low risk is your safest assets, the assets that you like the most within the market, right? Your Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe your Solana, things like that can be a really good understanding of your low risk sort of part of your portfolio. And for me, it would probably be a good percentage of your portfolio too. It would be the sense of 30-40%. If the weekly stocks at the bottom there, like, yes, you can maybe make that a little bit less, but nonetheless, if you got $100,000 in your portfolio, at least 40-50% is in low risk, guys. If you got a $10,000 portfolio, 30%. If you got a $1,000 portfolio, 20%. Like, you do have to take on a little bit more risk to grow. Just do it at the right specific times. And then what you do as well is you got to understand is as the market's going up, it's important to de-risk. But I want to show you guys another strategy that's going to help you with taking profits. It's going to help you guys with understanding what to do within your portfolios. So what it's called is a rebalancing system. So I'm going to bring the story up of Rand again. Remember when Rand was, he had the Luna position, right? What ended up happening was, and he did that one specific show where he says, I'm getting out of Luna. And I remember I got a lot of views and people were like, oh, it's clickbait, stuff like that. He didn't listen to his own rules, but he was completely right. And what I mean by that is, when you got a pie chart like this, guys, you got your low risk tokens, you got your high risk, your medium risk sort of tokens, right? Now, these tokens are also like narratives. So, for example, your high risk is probably memes and gaming, right? Your medium risk is probably L1s, maybe some wallets, things that are in the game, a little bit stronger. And then obviously your proof of work tokens, your Bitcoin, these ones are your safer sort of assets. Now, by doing that, guys, what you'll see is you get a pie chart. So I'll show you this over here. You get a pie chart, right? So if you look at this, here's your pie chart on the left. And that's my percentage currently. And I got a different amount of tokens. Let me show you an example of tokens. There's my low risk. I got some in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sol. My medium risk is Link, Casper, 𝗕𝗓𝗡, Render. My high risk is THETA, Rune, Phantom. My very high risk is any shitcoins. Any sort of shitcoins that are in play there, right? Now what happens is your pie chart starts like this on the left. All of a sudden, you look a month later and your pie chart looks different. Okay. Now, what you guys remember, I just want to drop this quickly over here. You do need a very basic portfolio management system or something, guys. It may be the free one on CoinGecko. It may be CoinStats. We'll have a link below in the description if you don't have it. I think it's like $3 a month or something. Something that just keeps your portfolio together and it gives you a pie chart. Very important, right? Very important for the pie chart. Then what it basically does is all of a sudden, a narrative will explode that month. Something will happen. So, for example, if you a month ago or 3 months ago, you had a portfolio and you had a couple of memes, what you would have noticed was 5% of your money was in memes, right? And let's say you caught a couple of the good ones. Now, all of a sudden, a month later, you look at your portfolio and your meme part of your portfolio is 20% now. You're like, what the hell? Why is it went from 5 to 20? And then what you'll notice is your low risk would have went from 25 to 18. So that would have reduced. So what ended up happening was your portfolio grew in the higher risk part of the portfolio and your lower risk started to shrink. What that creates is imbalance. It creates a sense of, oh shit, like, this one grew quickly and it's actually becoming too much of the pie to this one over here. Now, I want to explain to you. When Rand had his portfolio, he's got all the best coins out there, right? He's had a great portfolio when it comes to portfolio size. However, he had Luna. And Luna started off as being 5% of his portfolio or 3%, and it ended up being up to 70% of his portfolio. And he never rebalanced. And what happened is something happened to Luna. Now, imagine along that journey of that 70% that he shrunk that 70 back to 5, and he actually took that Luna money and bought Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, all these tokens. He'd be sitting with all his money today. Okay, so it's such an easy way to know when to take profits on what coins, okay, without looking at the single damn price. Because what's going to happen is, I don't know if you've noticed, but narratives pump in crypto. Different topics pump at different times. You got the gaming, then you got the memes, then you got the L1s. They're all different parts of your portfolio, guys. That shifts off. But the main thing is, it's the imbalance. So here's an example over here on the left. If you look at month one, you look at the sense of 15% high risk, 30% low risk. All of a sudden, the end of the month comes, and your very high risk is now from 15 to 30%. And your low risk is from 30 to 15%. And then all of a sudden, your medium risk is 15 from 30%, and your high risk is 40%. Guys, there's no doubt about it. Smaller coins, meme coins are going to make you more money. Okay, it will. However, if you keep your portfolio like this and you hold it through a bear market, you're going to get crushed. So what that basically means is every month end, when it's payday now, it's month end, you've got to rebalance your portfolios. By doing this, you're going to become extremely consistent, and you're going to think about it. If your portfolio, if a part of your portfolio was 5% and it went to 40% over a month, what does that mean? It means that these coins that you had pumped hard, made you a lot of money to the upside, right? And what it's saying is, take out of this now and go buy this one. It's teaching you to take profits. It's telling you, you've pumped here, take profits, go load up on these ones. That's exactly what it is doing for you automatically. So all you're doing is creating a pie chart with percentages for you. And then what you do is every month you rebalance. And by rebalancing, it's going to tell you exactly where to take profits. It's going to tell you exactly what coins to buy. All you are doing is categorizing your tokens. That's all you're doing. You have to give them a job. Are they low risk, medium risk, high risk, very high risk? If you don't know how to do this, what you do is you go look at the last big pullback on the markets, and you go look how much they dropped. Okay, if Bitcoin dropped 20% and your other coins dropped 30% and your other ones dropped 50% and the other ones dropped 80%, that kind of tells you low risk, medium risk, high risk, very high. So it gives you an idea that when the bear market comes or the red market comes, what holds good, what looks strong. If it doesn't hold good, it's high risk. I'm sorry, but it makes you money to the upside, but it's shit to the downside. That's the truth of it. I love Sol to bits, but Sol's not the best in bear markets. I hope it's better later on. But I love using Sol in bull markets. Nonetheless, it's still a token, and it still has risk. It's still got these sort of flows. So by doing this, guys, it's going to give you an understanding that it's all about a game here and all about just knowing what tokens to take profits on and what tokens to buy. This tells you, it shows you imbalance, and you will see this a lot in the bull market, guys, where all of a sudden, look at your medium risk here, all of a sudden goes to 40%. Look at the pie. Look how it starts to look not natural, not correct, not strong. And that's where it's going to become a big play of rebalancing it. So again, this is a really good strategy when it comes to your long-term views, when it comes to the point of your portfolio. This is your portfolio. Okay, it's that sense. Remember, I also gave you guys the other strategy as well. Don't confuse them. The one where when the stochastic is at the bottom, you load up on all these coins. As it goes up and it hits 80%, get out of these coins. They're two sort of separate strategies. So if you're here for 5 years, I would use this strategy. If you are here to trade the bulls and to be protected in the bears and trade the bulls and protected in the bears, again, what I would be then doing is that other strategy. You can mix them both or understand them both, but understand the power of it. That this thing, guys, I'm at that point where I just want to be told what to do. I'm being honest. I want to look at my portfolio. Okay, that's happening. I must do this. Like, I don't have time to figure it out. I don't have time to do these things. Like, we're a lot more higher than that. And I'm at that point where just show me the truth. I'm not going to like it, but tell me what I got to do. And I'll do it. Because the more that I don't listen to it, the more that I try to convince myself, is the more that I get proven wrong at some point. The market's smarter than us. It's at that point where the market's been designed over hundreds of years, and it knows the human brain incredibly well. And as much as I try to convince it, with my 4 years experience within crypto, I always get bitten on the hand, and I always make these silly damn mistakes. So by me being told what's happening, it makes me stick to it, and you got to get burnt enough to do so. But guys, I want to remind you today, I've got burnt for you. Craig got burned for you. Dylan got burned for you. We all got burnt our asses off for you. So listen to what I'm saying. If you're new in crypto and you're someone starting in and someone that this is your first cycle, or even those this is their second cycle, listen to me. It's going to make a massive difference for you. Just to understand the structure and what we're actually doing. Did someone say beer? No, Brandon. No one said beer. Who's this guy? This guy's always on my shows. Love you, Brands. Okay, he's one of my friends. One of my friends. Okay, let's quickly go back in here and go have a look. Right now, it's a bit. Let's go back. Sorry, give me a sec here. Where's Bitcoin hovering? Yeah, we'll know, guys, in the next couple of hours. I'm also creating a nice because I'm flying on Friday, so I'm creating a portfolio show for you guys. It will have some gaming in it. So we'll have a bunch of different topics. So there is a portfolio show coming this week. At the moment, we start cracking on and we start pushing up. There will be some live trading shows. Again, we'll trade the market. I promise you guys I'll do it, and I'll do a lot of them. So we'll trade the markets together. Right now, it's just about be prepared on the buys and be prepared for a little bit of the redness. Let's see what the stock market does. Let's see where we are later today. I wouldn't do too much today other than learn what I just taught you about the pie charts, learn all those basic views. So guys, have a fantastic day. Join my team, guys. Join my team for the trading competition. Use free money, use little bits of money. Don't use a big party portfolio, but come, let's go. Let's fight the war. Win whiskey, bro. Give me 2,000 likes on my video tomorrow. Give me 5,000 likes on this video, and I will drink a fat whiskey tomorrow with you guys on the actual show. I'll do it for breakfast. So, guys, have a fantastic day. Love you lots. I just want to see. Oh, one last thing, guys. Before we go. One last thing. I do want to give a shout out here. And I want to show you guys something. So, options trading. I've been speaking about options because leverage is going. Guys, we got the best platform you can get. It's this one over here. It's called Umoja. Right? It's called Umoja. Here we go. Here's it over here. Go below. Links are in the description. It's incredible. It's so simple and it's leverage. Okay. This is the power of it. So what you basically do is it's decentralized. You collect your wallet. So I'll show you guys how you connect your wallet and what you do there. Second thing here is you can actually trade a 10x long or short. So it's called a call or put. Okay. I do have a tutorial coming to Sniper School if you guys want to see it. There's no liquidation rule. You can't get liquidated. Okay, so what it does is it allows you to take a leverage long now. It already calculates a certain loss that you can take, and you give collateral in. Okay, the moment that if it goes incorrect in that specific time, because what you're doing is you're saying, here's an example here. If we look at ETH right now, let's go back to the ETH chart. Let me see where my ETH chart is. Let's go here. Let me just see where my ETH chart is. Hold on. Here we go. Here's an example. Okay, so yeah, we're in a wedge, and now I think, okay, it's going to either go to $4,300 or it's going to come down here to $3,300. Okay, there's my two little plays of what I think could happen on the higher time frame view. However, the wedge is the perfect one for me to be paying attention to as we start breaking through that. Now what I can do is I can go to the platform here, and I can say, okay, let's jump in over here. I can choose between a call and a put. Okay, so let's go an example of a call. Let's say markets go bullish now, and what we're basically doing. I can go here. They got 3 tokens. I can choose Ethereum. Then what I want to do is I want to choose a date. Okay, when do I think, not that it's going to hit the target, but when do I think we're going to go up? Like, when do I think we're going to be in the green? So for example, let's say by the end of the month, I think definitely Ethereum is going to be higher than where it is today by the end of the month. How much Ethereum do I want to do? Let's say I want to do 0.1 of an ETH. Okay, so what that basically means is I want to then long the market with $374. Okay, if I look at that now, and now the entry price will always be a little bit higher than where you're buying. So I only want to trigger this thing if we are going up. So for example, if I go back over here, so make sure I'm sharing screen. If I go back over here and I say, hey, ETH not bullish yet. Okay, however, ETH will be bullish if it starts breaking this level, which is the $3,850. Okay, if it starts breaking this level, now we're looking bullish. So what I can do over here is I can go here and I can say, okay, $3,850 is where I'd want to open up the long. Okay, now in order to trigger this trade, I want to trade with $300. I need to put 10% collateral. 10% collateral. So there we go. It's going to cost me to long ETH right now with a position size of $374. Okay, it's going to cost me $37. Okay, so you see how you can play with 10 times more than what you got. Now let's speak about the details. Let's speak about the loss. Let's speak about the other side, right? Okay, here we go. So firstly, it's saying ETH over here, telling you the date, where you want it to trigger. And then it says the collateral. That's the amount of money you put in, okay, for the actual trade. There is what you actually get taken from, your Umoja fee. This is what Umoja will keep themselves, okay? Now, if the trade starts to go against you, they will eat little bits from the collateral over here. Okay, but not a lot. Okay, the only time that they'll eat up to 50% of the collateral is if you got less than 5% of the actual collateral in. Okay, so it's important to keep it above 5%. Therefore, it won't go. And again, by the time the expiry comes, that's when it's basically done. And you can also sell that option or close that option anytime after. So let's say you take it today, it pumps today, you can get out of it and take profits at any single moment. So the power of this is normal options, guys, is you can't choose a date. They got dates they give you. This one, you can choose what's basically happening over here. So guys, it's a very powerful tool. Go below and start understanding it. I'm starting this now with a very small part of my portfolio, but this is my backup when leverage is gone. And all of these sort of plays, because you know I like playing with a little bit of money and making large amounts of money. You guys know that. You know me as a DJ and things like that. I like that there's no liquidation price here. I like that they don't just take all of your money. They don't just think that. For me, is a really big play of what they're doing. So if you want that, go below in the description. And let's go. Guys, have a fantastic day. Love you lots. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love.